We turn now to deadly protests in Iran. People have taken to the streets following the death of a 22-year-old woman in police custody who was detained after allegedly not wearing a hijab properly. And the regime is cracking down. CBS's Christina Ruffini is at the White House tracking the developments. Christina?
Good evening, Adriana. The Treasury Department actually altered its sanctions against Iran to allow some companies to help boost the internet there, as the regime is trying to cut access to prevent those images that we've seen from going all over the world.
Iran knows very well the power of its women. 40 years ago, they played a critical role in the Islamic Revolution, overthrowing the decadent U.S.-backed Shah and installing the theocratic republic that exists today.
It was America that trampled upon and left the agreement, not Iran.
But at the United Nations this week, President Ebrahim Raisi made no mention of the protests that have killed at least 35 people in his country.
Tremendous sadness and horror.
U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield.
Iranian women should be allowed to wear what they want to wear without having to worry about the so-called morality police coming in, beating them to death.
Islamic law does not explicitly require women to cover their heads, but Iranian law does. For years, young, especially urban women have been pushing the limits of the mandatory dress code, leaving the front of their long coverings open and pushing their veils far back on their heads. Now many are ripping them off completely. And they're being joined by men, protesting not only religious restrictions, but economic hardship, and a regime they say is out of step with the needs of its people.
Now, domestic unrest in Iran is likely to only complicate those ongoing nuclear negotiations as well as efforts to release detained Americans. Adriana?
Important context. Christina Ruffini, thank you.